This afternoon, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced the approval of 12 projects that will create 1,100 new jobs and retain 2,600 jobs statewide. In Youngstown, that means that Vallourec Star will be expanding. Guy Coviello, the president and CEO of the Youngstown Warren Regional Chamber, joins me now to talk about this expansion and this growth. Thank you for joining us.
Sure, Lindsay. How are you?
Yes, so this expansion is expected to create 40 new full-time jobs, generating more than $2.3 million in new annual payroll. So how is this going to benefit our local economy, and where do you think we're going to see some major changes due to this expansion?
So this is a big boost to the local economy. Vallourec is one of our largest employers. There are already about 1,000 people working there. This will go a long way towards preserving those 1,000 jobs. Plus, as you mentioned, it will add about 40 more jobs, create more than $2 million in payroll. So that's the direct impact of this expansion. I think there'll be some residual impact too with some of the supply chain, especially the local supply chain that services Vallourec. So companies like the Vallourec Group and City Machine Technologies. It positions them very well, being part of the Vallourec vendor chain. So we're real excited about what's happening out there.
And how important is it to have this expansion, to position our region as a big part of the supply chain? You mentioned some of those customers. Would you say, given the tariffs, that we are playing a pretty critical role because we're in the U.S.?
So I think this is one of the cases where the tariffs have had a positive outcome. And we look for a lot more growth there actually in the future because of our position with the Utica Shale. We like to consider ourselves the Utica Shale supply chain capital. This certainly solidifies that. I think this also validates everything that we've been hearing and then repeating about the future of the Utica, that it's really going to be a big driver of our economy for many years to come.
Yeah, and this is one of those parts of our economy that something we've had in our whole history in terms of this region. Would you say that Vallourec may expand even more? What have you heard about their plans?
Well, we certainly hope everybody that's part of the energy play here in the Utica Shale has lots of expansion ideas, whether that is Vallourec or EOG that recently purchased Enron or recently purchased Encino. We think that there's a lot of future growth here in the Utica Shale, and this is just part of it.
And this is part of the state's tax credit program. Explain, how it was able to happen that these expansion of these jobs, not just here, but in other counties across Ohio, including Portage, were approved by the governor.
Yeah, so one of the things that gives us an advantage over the rest of the country is the incentive packages put together by the state of Ohio and by Jobs Ohio. And this tax credit over the next 7 years is a big part of making it worth the investment here for Vallourec. So we're very appreciative of everything that the state of Ohio does and that Jobs Ohio does to stimulate the economy here in Youngstown.
We've had a lot of new job employment announcements this year within 2025. I'm curious, within what time period do you think you're going to see ramping up of hiring in our region?
So if you look at some of the announcements that we've made in the last year or so, companies like Kimberly-Clark, SoftBank, this one with Vallourec, in the construction timelines, you'll probably start seeing a pretty big ramp up in 2026, maybe about a year from now. And that's why we have been working so hard over the last few years to make sure that we're growing population, increasing the talent pool, increasing the housing stock so that we are prepared to handle that.
Yeah, very important issues all around. Thank you so much for joining us, Guy, as always.
Okay, Lindsay, thank you.